Imagine a world where everything you fear about the future flips on its head. A world where instead of collapse, there is regeneration. Where technology doesn't control you, but frees you. Where power systems don't exploit, but empower. Where human consciousness rises to meet the challenges of our age. You are living in a time where this is not just a dream, it is an unfolding possibility. And the most exciting part is that you are not just a spectator in this story, you are a participant. Think of the great turning points in history. The Renaissance, where the printing press spread knowledge faster than fear could stop it. The Enlightenment, where philosophers like John Locke, Immanuel Kant, and Voltaire pushed humanity toward ideas of freedom, equality, and reason. Each of these moments was driven by a combination of new tools, new systems, and new ways of thinking. Today, we stand at a moment just as powerful, perhaps even more so. Technology, power systems, and consciousness are converging like three mighty rivers, shaping the landscape of the future. And the question is not what could go wrong, but what could go right if we use them wisely. Technology is the most visible force. It is in your pocket, in your home, in the infrastructure of your city. It can connect you instantly with someone on the other side of the planet, diagnose illnesses, or even help regenerate ecosystems. Philosophers like Marshall McLuhan understood that technology is not neutral, it shapes the way you think, the way you relate, the way you see the world. Today, artificial intelligence, renewable energy systems, and global communication networks give us tools of change unlike anything before. Used with wisdom, they can be the levers that lift humanity into a new era of abundance, health, and creativity. But tools alone don't decide the future. That's where power systems come in. Throughout history, thinkers like Montesquieu and Hannah Arendt studied how governance and power shape human destiny. The power structures of today, governments, corporations, financial systems, can either reinforce inequality or create shared prosperity. Decentralized models, open source platforms, and new forms of democratic participation offer us the chance to redesign how decisions are made and who gets to make them. This is the invisible architecture of our shared life. If technology is the engine, power systems are the steering wheel. And right now, you have the chance to influence the direction they take. The third force, and perhaps the most underestimated, is consciousness. The philosopher Pierre Teilhard de Chardin believed that human evolution is not just physical but also spiritual, moving toward greater awareness and unity. Consciousness shapes the way you interpret reality, the choices you make, the values you hold. Without an expansion of consciousness, technology and power can easily be hijacked by greed or fear. But when consciousness evolves, when people choose empathy over indifference, long-term vision over short-term gain, these other forces align in service of life. In our own time, voices like Eckhart Tolle and the Dalai Lama remind us that the transformation of the world begins with the transformation of the mind. Now here's where the magic happens. These three forces, technology, power systems, and consciousness, are deeply interdependent. If one advances without the others, the system becomes unstable. Technology without evolved consciousness leads to exploitation. Power systems without transparency lead to oppression. Consciousness without practical tools leads to utopian dreams that never take root. But when all three rise together, the results can be extraordinary. Imagine renewable energy powered by AI systems, governed by transparent and participatory decision-making, guided by a population that values human well-being over endless consumption. That's not science fiction, it's a scenario within our reach. In your personal life, this trinity matters just as much. Technology can free up your time by automating repetitive work, giving you space to focus on what truly matters. Power systems, whether that's your workplace structure, your local community, or the laws that govern your country, can support your freedom to create, learn, and contribute. And consciousness allows you to use that freedom with intention, aligning your actions with your deepest values. When you understand the interdependence of these forces, you stop seeing the world as something happening to you, and start seeing it as something you are actively shaping. We face challenges in many forms: economic uncertainty, rapid societal changes, and shifting cultural landscapes, but these are also the same conditions that make transformation urgent and possible. The German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche spoke of the need to become who you are, to turn challenge into strength. Right now, you are living in an unprecedented moment to do just that, not just for yourself but for the whole. You can use technology to learn, to connect, to build. You can engage in shaping the systems around you instead of passively accepting them. And you can grow your own consciousness so that when the opportunity for change comes, you meet it as a creator, not just a consumer. So, what could go right? You could witness, and help create, a future where technology heals instead of harms. Where power is distributed, not hoarded. Where consciousness expands enough to hold the complexity of our interconnected world without collapsing into fear. And it all begins when you realize that these forces are not abstract. They are the tools you carry, the systems you live in, and the mind you cultivate every day. This is why it matters for you, right now, in your own life. You can start small, choose a piece of technology that supports your learning or well-being instead of distracting you. Get involved in a decision-making process in your community or workplace. Practice awareness so that you are not reacting from old fears but creating from clarity. These small steps ripple outward into the larger systems. The world has seen moments where everything seemed lost, and yet a new chapter began. Right now, we have the tools, the structures, and the capacity for awareness to create such a chapter intentionally. The future is not just a place you arrive at, it is a place you help design. And if you want to see what could go right, start by aligning these three forces in your own life. If this vision inspires you, if you want to explore more about how technology, power, and consciousness can shape not just the world but your own life, then subscribe to our channel. Together, we will dive deeper into these forces, uncover practical tools, and learn from the greatest minds of the past and present to navigate the times ahead. This is your time, your story, and your chance to help write the next chapter of what could go right.